The Russell-Cotes Art Gallery and Museum we see today was the extraordinary vision and creation of a unique couple. It is a mixture of a private house and an art gallery. It was the idea of the owners and creators, Merton and Annie Russell-Cotes, to create this unique environment, lavishly embellished and decorated with enormous exuberance. The house stands testimony to their interests, personalities, and their love for each other. Merton Russell-Cotes was born in Wolverhampton in 1835 to Samuel Cotes, a travelling ironware salesman, and his wife Elizabeth. The youngest of 7 children, Merton was 6 when his father died. The family was left in dire straits, deprived of their main breadwinner, and it is likely Merton was sent out to work as soon as he was able. Annie was also born in 1835 in Glasgow to Anne Nelson and John King Clark. Her father was a cotton factory owner who experienced periods of great commercial success as well as the crushing lows of bankruptcy. From the age of 14, Annie was privately educated in London and Liverpool, where it is probable that the teenage Merton and Annie were introduced through mutual church and business contacts. In 1860, when Merton and Annie were both 24, they married in Annie's hometown. They were a devoted couple throughout their marriage and went on to have 5 children: Ella, Charlotte, Clara, Anita, and Herbert. However, Charlotte died aged 7 and Anita died aged 4. At the time of his marriage, Merton was a travelling salesman, and he continued in this occupation for the next 10 years. Merton's steady progress up the career ladder provided his family with a comfortable lifestyle. A man of ambition, Merton wanted more than the arduous demands that the world of commercial travelling provided. In 1868, Merton purchased the lease of the Hanover Hotel, Glasgow, which he would later go on to personally manage. Having spent much of his working life on the road, he knew exactly what his potential customers expected. Merton suffered throughout his life from ill health. In 1875, after a particularly bad bout of bronchitis, the couple were advised to spend the spring in the south of England, where the climate was better. They spent some time at the Bath Hotel in Bournemouth, which was then a modest building in a small and select resort. Merton and Annie returned to Glasgow in 1876, where they received confirmation that their hotel was due to be demolished to accommodate the extension of the Queen Street railway station. Coupled with another bout of illness, Annie and Merton decided to buy the Bath Hotel in Bournemouth, taking ownership on Christmas Day 1876. They set about its extension and total refurbishment, renaming it the Royal Bath Hotel in 1880. The hotel's visitor book, which is now on display in the museum, reveals how the hotel attracted the rich and famous with its unsurpassed luxury and style. The Royal Bath Hotel was the most stylish in the town and made significant money, allowing Annie and Merton to fund their travels and collecting. Oscar Wilde came to stay and is quoted to have wryly told Merton that, "You have built and fitted up with the greatest beauty and elegance a palace and filled it with gems of art for the use and benefit of the public at hotel prices." Merton threw himself with characteristic vigour into local politics and the social life of Bournemouth. He was elected to the Bournemouth Board of Improvement Commissioners and was active in the extension of the railway line into the heart of the town. He became mayor of the town in 1894 and oversaw civic improvements such as the first libraries and the Undercliff Drive. He was careful to ensure that none of the developments detracted from the premier location of his own hotel. He courted the celebrities of the day, particularly royalty, including the Empress Eugénie of France, Prince Henry of Battenberg, and his wife Princess Beatrice, the youngest daughter of Queen Victoria. He was particularly interested in superstar actors and actresses such as Sir Henry Irving, Dame Ellen Terry, Lewis Waller, and Sarah Bernhardt. He collected many items of memorabilia associated with them. Merton and Annie travelled the world, partly for health reasons and partly to escape when Merton had flown a little close to the wind in his political activities. This was an age when international travel was opening up for the wealthy, and they were clearly intrepid travellers and collectors throughout what was the British Empire and beyond. In 1884, they embarked on an 18-month journey which took them to Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, Hawaii, Japan, China, Singapore, Sri Lanka and India. Everywhere they went, they collected, and at the end of their trip, they had 100 packing cases full of art and souvenirs. In 1896, Merton started planning his dream home with Bournemouth-based architect John Frederick Fogarty. The house was called East Cliff Hall and built next to the Royal Bath Hotel in a prime location in Bournemouth with the most stupendous views across the bay to Old Harry Rocks on the Isle of Purbeck and the Needles on the Isle of Wight. Initially it was conceived as a mock Tudor design with a tall clock tower, but the neighbours objected to losing their sea views, so it transformed into an extraordinary eclectic mix of styles, including French, Scottish, Italian, Japanese and Moorish. Merton was very involved in the design, and plans changed constantly. He wanted drama and glamour rather than adherence to a single style. Inspiration came from all sorts of places. The studio home of the artist Frederick Lord Leighton in London inspired the fountain in the main hall, while a chance acquisition of fire-damaged doors from a Florentine palazzo changed the design for the drawing room. The Russell-Cotes were not from an aristocratic landed family, so this house was designed as their family seat and to demonstrate their newly acquired wealth and status. Consequently, coats of arms were made or borrowed and inserted into the decor wherever possible to give a sense of respectability, lineage and tradition. In 1901, Merton presented the newly finished house to his wife for her 66th birthday, making it one of the last buildings of the Victorian era. Annie and Merton lived here in their middle and old age, so it was never designed as a family house, although their children and grandchildren visited regularly. It was unusual in having a relatively small staff living on site to cook, clean and care for them. In fact, most of these services were provided by the staff in the hotel next door on a rota basis. There is a gate in the garden grotto which people would have used to come and go between the hotel and the house. In 1907, only a few years after moving in, they announced that they would give the house and its collections to the people of Bournemouth. In 1915, Merton and Annie set about enlarging their house with the addition of 3 new galleries to showcase their increasing collection of paintings and sculpture. The galleries were opened by Princess Beatrice in 1919. In April 1920, Annie died, and Merton died in the January of the following year. His funeral was held on their 61st wedding anniversary. They had never spent an anniversary apart. The Russell-Cotes Art Gallery and Museum was formally opened in 1922, and other benefactors have continued to add to Annie and Merton's original collections over the years. So now you can enjoy visiting Annie and Merton's house as if you'd stepped back in time without barriers and bars. But we ask you to be careful of the fragile fabric of the house as you enjoy your visit. As Annie and Merton showed their love for Bournemouth by giving it their house and collections, we ask you to help preserve it for today's and future generations by making a donation if you can. The Russell-Cotes is a registered charity. Please enjoy your visit today and come back again soon.